I want to share with you a curious ancient discussion about the inner workings of the temple that once stood in Jerusalem. I came across this passage while studying one day. The temple. Apart from the slaughter of the animals and the smoke that carried the flavor of sacrifices to the heavens, the Jerusalem temple was also a place of musical worship. At certain times, the Levites would come out to the steps of the temple courtyard and play instruments. They would sing verses from the sacred books and loudly proclaim biblical teachings in jubilant song. In this passage from the Babylonian Talmud, a text roughly from the 5th century CE, the rabbis recall the harps that were originally played in the temple. But then, anticipating the days of the Messiah and Olam Haba, the world to come, they mention a tradition that in those days, the music as we know it will change. Here is an excerpt from their dialogue. Rabbi Yehuda says, "The harp used in the temple was an instrument of 7 strings, as it is stated, 'In your presence is fullness, sova of joy.' Psalm 16:11. Do not read fullness sova, but as 7, sheva. And the harp in the days of the Messiah will have 8 strings, as it is stated, for the leader on the 8th. Psalm 12:1. The 8th string will be added to the harp. Maybe the harp played in the world to come will have 10 strings, as it is stated, with an instrument of 10 strings, and with the lyre, with a solemn sound upon the harp. Psalm 92:1-4. And another verse states, Give thanks unto the Lord with the harp, sing praises unto him with the lyre of 10 strings, sing unto him a new song. Psalm 33:2-3. Gemara adds this, You may even say that in the world to come, since the strings of the harp will be increased, its sound will be increased like that of the lyre, and therefore he calls the harp a lyre. Babylonian Talmud, Arakin 13b. I hope you noticed something intriguing that jumped out at me in this citation. The rabbis play with the term sova, fullness, and sheva, 7. I also deliberately added some biblical references to the passages the ancient rabbis were using to explain their thinking, so you can follow their logic trail better. This idea that musical instruments, and perhaps musical sound itself, will change in the days of future redemption is fascinating. More strings, new notes? To allow this is to reimagine music as we know it. In Revelation 14:2, John hears the voice from heaven. It reminds him of the sound of a powerful river, loud thunder, and the playing of a harp all at once. John describes this heavenly sound by actually comparing it to a harp. Perhaps this is what is meant by the Shir Hadash, a new song in the Bible, a different type of music. A new song can mean a new melody, maybe even new words. But what if it will also be a completely new type of music? Maybe even a different scale, and something no one has ever heard before. There is something remarkable and special about this song, since in Revelation 14:3, only the marked 144,000 can learn and sing its words. Perhaps the ancient rabbis have preserved a most peculiar tradition that one day the music as we know it will be completely transformed. Why not? If the Almighty is going to make a new heaven and a new earth, why not new music as well? Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this video made you think. I was not going to say anything about it, but you should probably subscribe.